like Rong Ning, used to be the most loyal pawn in the deep palace, assisting sinful woman Wen Yunshu step by step from the cold palace to the top of the concubine. In exchange, the whole house was slaughtered. The tragic death of a eunuch who was forcibly injected with infatuation potion. The leaden palace walls are soaked in the dew of the cold, like an eternal chain. And I snapped my eyes open. Violent heaving of the chest. There is still a searing sweetness of love potion left in the throat, and the pain of that bowl of poisoned wine piercing the intestines. Died in the bed of that perverted eunuch. Died in a sea of slaughtered blood. Memory is like a poisoned steel needle plunging into my mind. In the last life, I was Wen Yunshu's most powerful confidant. From the cold palace, accompanied him through 3 years of cold porridge, scheming for him. Will courtiers self-destruct, steal secret letters? He cheerfully promised to let you out of the palace after he's a scum after all. Wait for him to fall into the harem. Waiting for me. The disaster of annihilation and the humiliation of the last bowl of poisoned wine became what he called a right to my dignity. Monstrous hatred almost burned my soul. I hate Wen Yunshu's ingratitude. I hate myself for not knowing. I hate this cannibalistic palace even more. The cracking of porcelain bowls on the table woke me up. Look around. The familiar display of the palace maid side hall made my pupils in the bronze mirror. It's a young face with a green but hidden edge. I'm really back. Go back 3 years, when Yunshu just agreed inconspicuously, when it's still too late. So I take a breath, suppress the surging emotions. In this life, I am no longer a pawn at the mercy of others. If you want revenge, you must make Wen Yunshu pay with blood. I fell on the wooden box under the bed. There's half a bottle of love potion left over from a previous life. In the last life, I was forced to drink and become a plaything. In this life, I will take the initiative to drink. Attached to the most noble in the world, the man of the great Indian dynasty, Emperor Xiao Jingyuan. Only by standing at the peak to trample the enemy under your feet. I took out the amber potion. Raise your head and drink. The heat quickly spread throughout the body. Blushing cheeks, blurred eyes. The mind is very clear. Tidy up the messy clothes, exposing a slender neck and wrists. He staggered but walked firmly towards the imperial study. The road ahead is the thunderous wrath of the Emperor. The vitality to break the game. The guards are tight outside the imperial study. In tidy clothes. I just showed up looking strange. He was stopped by the guards with knives drawn. Bold maid. No trespassing in the forbidden area of the imperial study. I raised my bewildered eyes. The voice trembled imperceptibly. It was incredibly loud. I have something important. Please see your majesty about the country. No delay. The guards looked at each other. See me with great bearing. Unusual maid. A little hesitant. Just then, I shoved the guard away. He used all his strength to break open the door of the imperial study. Your majesty, this servant has something important. The bright yellow figure in the hall is at the desk to review. Slowly raise your head. It was a beautiful face. Sword eyebrow style, high bridge of the nose, thin lips. The whole body exudes the dignity and indifference unique to emperors. He is Xiao Jingyuan, the youngest emperor of Great India. Eliminates civil strife with iron-blooded 3 years on the throne. It has made the court look new. Xiao Jingyuan's eyes fell on me, full of scrutiny and displeasure. Impudent low voice with anger. A palace maid dares to trespass into the imperial study. Someone drag it out. Execution. The guards immediately came forward. I lunged forward, hugging Xiao Jingyuan's legs, crying with clear words. Your Majesty, forgive me. When promised to collude with foreign relatives to murder the emperor. If I don't play today, there will be disaster in the future. I bet on Xiao Jingyuan, a delicate person who governs foreign relatives. It's a secret I stumbled across in my last life. Xiao Jingyuan takes action. The indifference in the eyes fades a little. Instead, we need to explore. He looked at me, trembling in his arms. Hot cheeks, soft body. Apparently in love potion, but deep in those eyes. But it hides a tenacity and determination that does not match the appearance of weakness. He curls his lips. The tone is playful. You are a little maid. How to find out about the secret room that when promised? I knew my chance had come. You can face the emperor's question. Can I hide the secret room I made up? If the guards really go to search Wen Yunshu's dormitory, does the so-called evidence really exist? Inside the imperial study, the aroma of love potion are intertwined. Create a strange and ambiguous atmosphere. I suppressed the heat in my body. A well-organized opening. The slave Rong Ning was originally a palace maid of the Raccoon. I was transferred to Wen Premier's palace half a month ago. I happened to find that he often corresponded with people outside mentioning the palace. Words such as foreign relatives supporting imperial. I heard him conspiring with his confidants late last night. On the occasion of the Empress Dowager's birthday, poisoned in the imperial meal. Murdered the pregnant concubine Li and framed the concubine. Stir up civil unrest in paving the way for foreign relatives to seize power. Truth. It is true that when Yunshu colluded with foreign relatives, I deliberately made up the murder of concubine Li. I know. Concubine Li is Xiao Jingyuan's favorite concubine at the moment. The fetus in his womb is his treasure. Take this as a quote. Will definitely attract attention. Sure enough, Xiao Jingyuan's eyes were instantly sharp as a knife. A sudden drop in your pressure. Do you have evidence? The evidence is in the hidden compartment at the bottom of the hidden his correspondence with foreign relatives. I hurriedly said. previous life, Wen Yunshu did hide important letters there. Destroy until the position is firmly established. The servant wanted to seal the evidence and then when promised that he had ordered me to be transferred to the cold palace. Slaves are afraid of long dreams. Only then did this. Tears fall, more pitiful. The drug effect in the body is getting stronger. The body trembled involuntarily. Xiao Jingyuan pondered for a moment. Instructed outside the door to take someone to search when promised the dormitory. Focus on the bottom of the makeup box. The guards took orders. Only my heavy breathing was left in the imperial study room. I can feel the emperor's profound gaze, as if to read all my thoughts. Did you know that trespassing into the royal study room, even if what is said is true, also a capital crime? Xiao Jingyuan's voice sounded above his head. I looked up. No fear in my eyes, only the determination to break the bolt. The servant knows, but the country is more important than everything else. Besides, the slaves suffered a lot in the Wenjian palace. Instead of being secretly killed, take a gamble. These words just pierced Xiao Jingyuan's mind. He admires loyalty and courage above all else. Not long after, the guard hurried back, holding a stack of letters in his hand. Look solemn. His Majesty is indeed in the secret compartment of Wen Yunshu. Found these letters. Xiao Jingyuan quickly flipped through obscure words in the letter. It reveals everywhere that Wen Yunshu's foreign relatives cultivate ambition power. To covet reserves. Very good, Xiao Jingyuan sneered. Throw the letter on the ground. Then he looked down at me. Displeasure in eyes dissipates. More appreciation and fun. You are brave. Tell me what reward you want. I was overjoyed, and I knew I had done it. But just as I was about to ask to stay with the emperor, Wen Yunshu outside the cold palace, already agitated by my disappearance, a search for me is quietly unfolding. Slaves dare not ask for reward. I just hope that His Majesty can take in the slaves to work by his side. I looked up, eyes sparkling, with just the right amount of shyness and firmness. Although slaves come from humble beginnings, also a little bit of poetry. I can also serve tea and water for His Majesty. Worries and solve your problem. Only stay by Xiao Jingyuan's side to obtain maximum protection. Implement a revenge plan. Xiao Jingyuan looked at my red cheeks with expectant eyes. There is a strange feeling in my heart. He reaches out his hand. Lift my chin. Fingertips touch hot skin. In love potion, to negotiate terms so calmly. You are a strange woman. Then I will allow you. From today onwards, you are the imperial maid by my side. Serve my daily life. Thank you for your grace. And I kowtowed, excited. The first step had been taken. The next step is to take it step by step. Become a palace maid. I moved into the side hall of the imperial accompany Xiao Jingyuan day and night. Act cautiously. Thoughtful me. He took care of his daily life. He worked late into the night. I will silently serve warm tea snacks. He feels the cold occasionally. I made the soup myself. Stay by the bed all night. I still rely on past life memories. In his discussions with the courtier, occasionally just the right insight hit the nail on the head, make him even more impressed. I know that the emperor has a deep mind, unkind. Winning trust and affection is no easy task, can only be moved by detail. Assist with wisdom, let him get used to my presence. At the same time, I haven't forgotten revenge. Through the identity of the imperial palace, collect Wen Yunshu's criminal evidence. Inquire about his movements. Wen Yunshu was snubbed by Xiao Jingyuan after being suspicious of the letter. Always be safe. Trying to win back the emperor's favor in a low-key manner. But I do. It's just his disguise. Ambitious, he will never give up. Sure enough, it didn't take long. In the palace, it was spread that living on time, the news that someone had medicine a micro laxative. Although it did not cause major harm, but it also made Xiao Jingyuan launch order a thorough investigation. My heart skipped a beat. This must be Wen Yunshu's handwriting. In the last life, concubine Li was designed by him to die. The child was not safe either. I will never let history repeat itself in this life. But if I intervene directly, will it scare the snake? Reveal one's intentions? I secretly pay attention to the movements in Wen Yunshu's palace. Found his maid. I have been in and out of the imperial kitchen. Got in touch with the cook who was responsible for brewing lively decoction. I immediately reported the situation to Xiao Jingyuan and advised Your Majesty. This is strange. Empress Li's decoction has always been the responsibility. It's heavily guarded. It's hard for outsiders to start. In the opinion of slaves, maybe the people around you were bribed, or someone deliberately framed it. Why don't you secretly send someone to monitor the imperial palace maids? Maybe we can find something. Xiao Jingyuan took my advice, secretly sent someone to investigate. A few days, I found Wen Yunshu's personal maid, buy off the cook with a lot of money, evidence that she drug living decoction. The evidence is Wen Yunshu has 100 mouths. Xiao Jingyuan was completely furious. Ordered Wen Yunshu to be thrown into the cold palace. His foreign relatives were also implicated. He was suppressed by Xiao Jingyuan, devastated. When I learned the news that Wen Yunshu was thrown into the cold palace, I'm studying Ning for Xiao Jingyuan. He pauses. A flash of joy in the eyes, immediately returned to calm. And this is just the beginning. What he did to me and my family in the last life, I want to get it back little by little. Getting into the cold palace was just the beginning of his pain. The downfall of Wen Yunshu let my status in the palace rise quietly, but it also attracted the fear of others, especially concubine Yan, who has always been deeply loved by Xiao Jingyuan. In the side. Concubine Yin was born into a famous family. Power is huge. It's kind of lagging behind. I thought that no one could compete with Wen Yunshu after her fall, but I didn't expect me to be a palace maid, to be so favored by the emperor. Concubine Yin began to target me deliberately, making things difficult in front of me do embarrassing things, spread rumors secretly, said that I used charm to deceive emperor. Misconduct. Face him. I'm not flustered. Knowing that giving in will only be slaughtered, you must learn to fight back. Concubine He has a prominent family support. I am a palace maid who was born a palace maid. Fight him. What are the odds? Concubine Yin holds a banquet invitation. The concubines of the harem also specially summoned me. She deliberately spilled a glass of wine on me during the dinner, accused me of not serving well, ordered to drag me down. I didn't struggle. Looking at Concubine Yin calmly. Sound clear? Concubine Yin, calm down. Although slaves are just palace maids, but she is also a palace maid personally responsible for serving His Majesty. The Empress punished the slave for no reason. If it reaches His Majesty's ears, I am afraid that His Majesty will mistakenly think that the Empress is for the Empress's fertility. This is neither humble nor arrogant. Identify. He also suggested that the behavior might cause Xiao Jingyuan concubine Shin's face froze. I didn't expect me to be so articulate. Looking at the inquiring eyes of the surrounding concubines, he was embarrassed, but I don't want to give up. Bold maid, how dare you contradict me? This palace punishes you just because you didn't serve well. What to do with your majesty? If the empress feels that the servant is not well served, report to His Majesty as much as possible. It is up to His Majesty. I said calmly, slave, trust your majesty to see clearly. I will definitely give justice to the empress forcibly punished today. In the future, His Majesty will ask a servant to tell the truth. I'm afraid it will affect the relationship between the empress and her majesty. Both gave concubine Yin threatening again. He weighs the pros and cons. I know that I may not be able to take advantage of it in front of Xiao Jingyuan. Instead, it may end up with a reputation for being jealous. I can only withdraw the order with a cold snort. You are smart. Quickly. Thank you for your grace. I salute. Turn around and step back. The moment you step out of the imperial guard, flash in the eyes. Since you want to get in my way, don't blame me for being welcome in this deep palace. It's always you and I. I don't know. Inside the imperial Xiao Jingyuan is listening to the report of the learning everything that happened in the imperial guard. He put down the memorial. The corners of the mouth evoke a meaningful smile. This Rong Ning, it didn't disappoint. Have courage and wise. Know how to protect yourself in the face of adversity. Such a woman is getting more and more interesting. He looks out the window. Deep eyes. Maybe it's time to give me a higher status. Let me have enough ability to establish a foothold in the deep. But this higher status, a blessing or a curse? Will it make me a target for more people? 3 days later, a royal decree spread through the harem. Imperial palace maid Rong Ning, intelligent and agile, performed due diligence. Special seal for changing clothes. Chen palace side hall. Although the change of clothes is of lower grade, not an official concubine, but for a woman who was born a palace maid, it is a great grace. What's more, Chen palace is where Xiao Jingyuan's bedroom is located. It meant I could be there for him. Dishonor. Many low-ranking concubines are envious. After concubine Yin learned so angry that he smashed many treasures in the palace. She never expected Xiao Jingyuan would actually lift a palace maid like this. It's not just a pet for me, it's a humiliation to her. The palace maid advised her to calm down. Said that even if I got dressed, can't make big waves. But concubine Yan's eyes were full of cruelty. No, never let her be so proud. We have to figure something out. Discredit him. No longer favored by His Majesty. I'm wearing my newly canonized dressing clothes. Accept the worship of the palace people. With a faint smile on his face. Look calm. I didn't get carried away. I see. Ning Fei changing clothes is just a step on the road. The higher the rank, more power to better protect themselves. Realize the revenge plan faster, and I know that the wind blows. The road ahead will only be more difficult. Sure enough, a few days later, rumors spread in the palace that I disturbed the harem. Before I became a palace maid, had an affair with a guard. It is by improper means to climb the dragon bed to get favor. The rumors are getting worse, spread throughout the harem. It even reached the ears of the former ministers. Many conservative ministers have written to ask Xiao Jingyuan to punish me severely. Take the right palace as the ethos. I know concubine Xing's conspiracy. To defend Xiao Jingyuan, serve as usual. Process transactions. Xiao Jingyuan admired my comments. Courtiers under increasing pressure. Can he stand firmly on my side? How much can trust be worth? Xiao Jingyuan returns to Chen Palace by the window. Ask me if I've heard any rumors outside. I heard about it. He asked me again if I was wrong whether to justify. I shake my head to say that the clear person self-clear. Trust your majesty. Minka, not afraid of shadows. Your majesty, no need to justify. It's useless to believe in excuses. Xiao Jingyuan kissed my forehead, said to believe that I had suppressed the minister who impeached me and would protect me. My heart is warm. Salute has his trust and shelter. I can take revenge in the palace. I have not spared concubine Find evidence of the rumor-mongering maid and her instigation. Deliberately let concubine Li know. Concubine Li hated after concubine Yin learned. Report the evidence suitable for me to Xiao Jingyuan. Xiao Jingyuan was dissatisfied. After concubine Yan's evidence burning with anger, ordered a thorough investigation. It was found out that concubine Yan instructed the palace maids to spread rumors. Pay cut. I successfully defused the crisis. Lend other hands to fight against consolidate the position in the palace. Xiao Jingyuan trusts and loves my harem more. Don't dare to provoke the cold. When Yunshu in the palace learned that my beautiful relative vomiting blood, don't let me go. Is he hiding something? I borrow Xiao Jingyuan's favor, pretending to be pregnant on a daily basis. Signs such as nausea in the morning, afternoon sigh, prefer sweet and sour palace. Rumor has it that I seem to be pregnant. Rewards fill the side hall. There is jealousy and calculation behind. The first concubine was jealous of concubine. Rong Ning still makes confidence. Spread the speech of the witch disaster palace. I want to shake Xiao Jingyuan's trust in me. Everything is as I expected. I just want to lead out Wen Yunshu in the cold palace. I know she can't stand me having dragon seeds. When Yunshu in the cold palace heard that the palace maid said that broken porridge bowl dragon seeds, blood mixed with sludge, her eyes are bitter. I am not willing to step on the blood of the wrong family. I still want my mother to be precious. Swear not to let me get my wish. When Yunshu has a bad hand, used to assist the bottom guard. Jin Chai, the commander of the guards, begged him to add something to my meal. Commander agrees. A few days later, I noticed something strange in the chicken. It contains herbs that cause abdominal pain and bleeding. I fell to the ground with abdominal pain after taking plan to move forward. I don't know if fake abortion can make Wen Yunshu doomed. The palace maid exclaimed to ask the imperial looks like a royal come as soon as possible. I'm menstruating. Looks like a miscarriage. Face as agreed. Report to Xiao Jingyuan who came over that the was child assassinated. Lost. Xiao Jingyuan saw my miserable situation. Thunder was furious because of the importance attached to the imperial. The hidden guard investigation leads to the guard was bribed to confess. When Yunshu instructed the whole process of poisoning, Xiao Jingyuan was furious when he saw the punishment. When Yunshu was embarrassed when she was escorted out, on me and bite me, call me for causing him to design him. I stand by Xiao Jingyuan's side, calmly point out that he has his own fault. Xiao Jingyuan's killing intent was ordered Wen Yunshu crime company of the 9 family exile, inventory Yang colluded with Wen's forces, will be given. The Wen family falls apart. Dependent officials are punished. I looked at the back of Wen Yunshu being escorted. Years of hatred dissipated. Revenge. The Rong family can rest in peace in the spirit of heaven. Xiao Jingyuan sees my emotion. I take you in my comfort arms. Will compensate me. Let me no longer be deceived. 3 days later, I would ban as concubine Ning. Gold book Jinbao. But I understand. The harem fight has not stopped. The grounded imperial concubine will not be reconciled. The imperial decree of the consort is deeply rooted in the palace is very lively. The crowd came to congratulate. I was worshipped calmly in my royal dress. I know that Rong is armor exchanged for blood and terror. Concubine Yan heard the news that Jingren Palace being grounded, struggling to cut and neglected by the backlog of resentment and jealousy erupted. Concubine Yan broke the Luodian mirror, screaming insults at Ron Ning. I don't think she deserves to be a concubine. The palace maid advised her to be careful, but she said madly that she couldn't let Ron Ning be proud. She grabbed the maid and asked her to contact a copy of Rong Ning in the court. Also let the bribe Chenqian Palace. The maid mixed the honey medicine in the calming incense. Disfigure your face. The maid acted according to the requirements of the imperial concubine on the palace. Chenqian Palace are all grandpa palace maids bribed by concubines. Was taken down while approaching the spice room. After the trial, the plan to recruit the imperial poisoning and court impeachment. I looked at Gongzi and sneered. No more room. Take Gongzi and wait for Xiao Jingyuan. Not sure if he will do what he did with Wen. Decisively deal with the Shaoyi family. In the evening, Xiao Jingyuan arrived at Chenqian Palace. I pay tribute to this directly. When chatting, it seems that I have no intention of mentioning the words of the official government. Organized. Xiao Jingyuan didn't want me to lean on his shoulder. Express that you don't care about afraid that someone will provoke the relationship between monarchs. Then let the confidant present the confession and the damage key. After Xiao Jingyuan took the confession, gloomy face, put the confession on the record, rebuked concubine Yan for being stubborn, praised his family, tolerated her again and again but harmed her again and again, immediately ordered to ground the imperial never step out for life. Pay cuts. Only 2 maids are left to serve. If you repeat it, you enter the raccoon for the common people will be given. Harem vibration. Concubine Yan, who has a prominent family background, they were grounded has repeatedly framed me. Xiao Jingyuan's move is to show the harem. Concubine Ning is the person at the top of his heart. A few days later, concubine Hui Defei led the harem concubines to Chenqian Palace. The old contempt and hostility became deference and reverence. They are humble. Good manners. Dare not mention my origin. Don't dare to make things difficult for me. Sit on the throne. Gentle and dignified response hello. Understand that in the deep is more reliable than closeness. The end of the imperial concubine becomes no one dares to provoke me anymore. After the concubines retreat, Xiao Jingyuan walks out, called the harem clean. Then I looked at him, warm flash. I have taken revenge in this life, standing in the harem with wisdom and courage. With his protection, the sun shines down. Although the road ahead may be stormy, but with Xiao Jingyuan's trust and his own confidence, I will no longer be slaughtered. From now on, I am concubine Ning Rong. Master your own destiny.